Alright you guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It is a new video today and I just wanted to chat to you guys a little bit about the mistakes that I made in the gym when I first joined the gym. This is currently my 2 years and a bit of training. Some of the main mistakes, I made a couple notes here that I wanted to run through you guys. So the first thing I recommend for you guys, if you're checking in for this video, you're probably a beginner in the gym, you're probably someone that's new, you might even be someone that's currently at the gym that doesn't really know what they're doing and they're just sort of following what they see online. So this video is going to be beneficial for you guys, but the first thing I would always recommend doing is doing a bit of research into where it is that you want to be, and then backtracking from where you want to be. You can apply this in life, but in general, we're talking about specific to training. Have a look at an idol of yours and think, are they realistic? Are their goals attainable? Things to consider will be their genetics, if they're natural or unnatural. You know, if they've got anything that is complementing their training, whether that be PEDs or steroids or SARMs or anything else that is involved that you might be completely oblivious to. Most people in the industry nowadays that are big on social media will most likely be fake natty, you know, on steroids of some kind or on some sort of performance enhancing drugs. But that is just sort of thrown around online everywhere. So just be really careful when you look at your idols and pick and choose carefully what you believe to be attainable. That would honestly be my best advice. Some of the people that I looked at when I was younger, I looked at and I was like, oh my God, these guys are massive. For example, they've got massive shoulders and I want big shoulders. How do they get that? Oh, they must be training shoulders for years, really hard. Like, do you know what I mean? There was no real understanding of steroids and stuff like that. So it's everywhere nowadays, so just be aware of that when you research these people. So not only just looking at your idols, but looking at the training methods that are used. A lot of people at a young age, they typically won't be going to the gym because they're not old enough to go to a gym. I think in the UK, the age to join a gym is, I think, 15 or 16. I'll pop it on the screen and make it correct. You're not going to be allowed to go into those gyms if you're not old enough. So how can you train and build muscle at any age? Obviously, the bodyweight stuff you can do at home, push-ups, pull-ups, abs, that sort of thing. I can do home workouts if you guys want to see that. So definitely do a lot of research before you get into any sort of training. Something that sort of branches off of research will be finding a training program that works for you. In the beginning, when you first go to the gym, any sort of weight training that you do, you'll gain muscle so quickly because your body literally will pick up muscle, generally speaking, will pick up muscle a lot faster than it would be than someone that's been training for example, 10 years. Mainly because you build up a threshold, like a resistance to gaining muscle mass. So when you're very prone, there's a scientific term, I'll pop it on the screen, I can't remember off the top of my head now, but when you first start out training, it's very easy to see gains quick if you're on a regular routine. So definitely look into training programs. Well, you can get anything you want online for training, is completely free. This is like the third point which I was going to mention, which is going to be, don't just buy shit that people put out online, right?
Because these social media marketers just leave a small little information crumb trail that leaves people who don't know any better coming back for more.
Don't buy the training programs online that people just put out because they're trying to make money off of it. Don't just buy supplements because you see people endorsing certain brands. Don't just go and buy stuff because you think it's going to make you look a certain way or perform a certain way. Definitely don't even consider touching anything steroid based or anything like that. In my opinion, unless you've been training for a good amount of years and you've built up like a natural threshold before you even try and get into, you know, something like that. But when I was younger, the mistakes that I made was I would look at someone like an idol of mine and I would be like, oh my God, I want to look like them, they've got such a great physique. And then I realised that a lot of this stuff isn't attainable naturally, and I was like, is that really the route I want to go down? The second I realised, I changed my tactic, and I guess I took a step back and sort of had a bigger view, so to speak, on whether I wanted to, you know, be super serious as like a bodybuilder, which I don't. Do I really want to be super strict to my food all the time, which I don't. All these other factors that came into it, I just thought to myself, it's not really me. Definitely do a lot of research online. A lot of great websites like bodybuilding.com. I'll pop a couple other examples on the screen for you guys for good websites that I recommend to check out for research. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to slide in my DMs as well. Pop my Instagram on the screen here. Feel free to drop me a message. I'll always get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll answer your questions. I do get, if it's a question that's asked regularly, I'll probably make a video topic on it on the YouTube channel, so you guys can check that out. And I always have separate playlists like here on the screen that you guys can see now. This is some of the playlists of the videos that I've made. So there's programming, training, and there's nutrition over there. And as you can see, there's all sorts of this information on the channel which I'm giving out to you guys, which is all science-backed and also opinion-based, so there's a whole bunch of different stuff on there if you guys want to go and check that out. The last thing I wanted to mention, just to round off this video, will be mindset. I think a lot of people don't really realise the mindset you need to go into to sort of be training in the gym regularly. I think in the modern day society where everything is instantaneous and we all want something now, we want the results now, that is the problem that leads on to, you know, the use of steroids and performance enhancing drugs and all these other things that speed up that whole process, right? So a lot of people are using stuff that we wouldn't like to, I guess they wouldn't like to talk about. Some people are very open about it, but at the end of the day, I just want you guys to be aware that everything you see on social media isn't exactly how it's portrayed. We all know about downlighting, we all know about the angles. It takes 1,000 photos, you get one good one that gets posted to Instagram. You know, these models, for example, the big fitness accounts, I'll put a couple of examples on the screen. You can see these guys here, they look incredible, and girls, they all look incredible, but they're a moment in time when they look their best, and typically they'll go out and they'll take 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 different photos in different clothing on different locations at that one, you know, 3-4 days of their life when they look incredible, or even a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long they're in the best condition for, and then they'll repost that content throughout the year, basically. And that's just typical, and you see a lot of these videos online where people try and explain this, and I just wanted to sort of give you my 2 cents really. Your mindset is everything when it comes to training. Don't just think like, oh, you can go to the gym and if you train regularly, you're training effectively. There is a big difference between going to the gym for an hour and sitting on your phone for 20 minutes and going to the gym for 20 minutes and having an intense, crazy workout like HIIT training or Metcon or whatever. You don't have to be in the gym for long periods of time to get results. You also don't have to go to the gym that frequently to get the results that you're after. It's all about the effectiveness of your training. So just remember that your mindset up here is correct, then you're going to be training effectively. You're going to be managing your diet effectively. You're going to be living your life in a productive way. It's always better to be productive than busy. I would say that's one of my biggest mistakes is in the past, I would say I've been a very busy person and I haven't really prioritized my productivity levels. So I'll choose things that I know aren't good for me because I wanted to do them there and then. Whereas that's sort of the biggest downfall. It's so easy to be like, oh, I want to go and do this because your friend's doing this, or you want to go and do that, but you know you need to do this, right? And it's just about prioritizing. So many people like just waste time in the gym, like socializing and chatting and pissing around on their phones. And don't get me wrong, people watching this video that know me are going to be like, Harley, you're like the worst person for that, mate. Which is completely true. Like I go around and I socialize all the time, but that's part of my work, that's part of my business, it's part of my personality. And I am like that. Some days I'll go in, I'll be super strict, and I'll have like ridiculously tough sessions where I don't want to speak to anyone. And then there'll be other times I'll be like an absolute socialite, going around talking to everyone, and I still have good workouts. But that's just me. So some people really struggle to stay focused, and I guess you just have to keep yourself in the right mindset. That's sort of the last thing I want to take away from that video. Feel free to message me. I'll produce whatever content you guys want to see, and I'm going to try and up the content as much as I possibly can for you guys. Anyway, see you in the next one. Much love. And subscribe and like this video. You know the drill. Ciao.